the neat thing is that I took Audrey and Jonathan, and then Zach Anderson, who's like in the family, and then my daughter's a freshman, so she had her student, not host seats, and
Yeah, we can always move them down.
played against
That's what I do.
half those guys. on the
Just
team.
move them down, just go over and come back.
Because Jonathan played on an all-star team, had the honors to play on a, not
Oh, and
the
Trace,
all,
yeah.
and I was teasing him
We can do it whenever suits us.
every time. That was his senior year when Center Grove beat us, but that's him, Garden. Look at his
I'll wait
nose.
for Josh to get back and
I said, go down and show him your pick.
When Pete fully applied for Court of Appeals, Mark Peter wrote him a letter. I forget exactly how he phrased it. Watched him hold Damon Bailey to 42.
Okay. I think we're ready. Oops, I'll wait on Dan.
Damon was coaching the girls, Bedford girls.
Is he still, or
No,
just did it when his girl was?
I think so. They were outside the gym, outside in the hallway. Why he had them there, I don't know. Before they walked in, because they had their locker room. It wasn't even the right hall. It was the.
Well, I'm so tired of eating like a Mikey.
I said, I walked up and it was way. They weren't even. It was probably before we sent them into the locker room. I said, ladies.
Feel on my
I
track.
said, Coach, gotta take a moment.
The little compressor that raises and lowers, I don't know. it's got it
Right.
out of what.
I said,
I'm
ladies, I
sitting
want
down
you to
and I
know
got my
that
knees up.
I know a lot about basketball.
No,
said-
Saturday.
And everybody knows this guy's history in this whole state. So I said, you might want to listen to him. Because I said, but I want you all to know that I had one of the best games ever when I played against him. I know he remembers me, Brian Collier from Martinsville, and he looked at me and I said, because I only held him to 38 points. And I said, and they all started laughing, and I said, the sad thing was, I think that was the first half. And I didn't get to play the second half. And he just shook his head, and he goes, really? And I go, oh, you gotta have fun with it. And then I said, but I will, and then he came up and I said, I will tell you.
There we go.
I said, I don't care what anyone says about you. After the game, he went to this little restaurant that my grandma and grandpa.
We out there? There we go. I think I have to yell at this thing for a little bit and wake it up. Good morning to you and welcome to our December 1st meeting, our first meeting in December. We'll begin with the Pledge of Allegiance, which I'd like to have some veteran or honor or lead. Do we have a veteran that can lead that? Billy, you may lead the pledge. Following the pledge, I'd like to have a moment of silence for Brand Ringer, and then we'll offer a prayer and begin our meeting. Let us pray. Gracious God, we are grateful for this land that we live in. We are grateful for servants such as Brand Ringer, who we serve this country and his county. We are grateful for our manner of governing and the laws which we swore to uphold and support. Please protect our protectors. We seek your wisdom as we conduct the business of this county. We seek your love that was exemplified in Jesus. In his name, in whose name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
Well, welcome to all, and some guests that are new and some office holders that are old, and getting ready for our Christmas season. We have a fairly straightforward agenda today. But we'll begin with some claims that we need to get back into the auditor's office so they can continue to go with them. You have, gentlemen, you have the claims in front of you. There are no holds. I'll entertain a motion for their approval.
Brian Carter makes a motion that we approve accounts payable claims totaling $1,669,389.40.
Motion's been made and seconded for the approval of the claims. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion passes 3-0. Want to go ahead and get that signed and delivered?
Oh, I just texted them, they'll be okay.
Okay. Next item on the agenda comes from our highway department, and unfortunately, Tony Hinkle is ill today. But we also are support and have our highway superintendent, Grant, who made a fast trip up 67. Yeah, I don't know how he got into town. He probably came up Blue Bluff.
Tony's out, not feeling well. And
Okay,
he's usually
thank you,
my
Grant.
public speaker,
Grant Collinsworth.
so I'm gonna try and kind of walk through this with
Okay,
you guys a little
thank you.
bit. But it's in regards to the annual materials bid openings, so I think you guys have got a copy of that, right?
Bidders.
Is there any questions or comments? Always had to know.
Kentucky, I mean. You don't need it, you got a one-to-one there.
Bear with us while we try to get these open.
We have a little stack of bids to open, so. Yeah, Grant, you want to talk about the snow removal quotes?
More or less in regards to the snow removal quotes, we're just asking that we accept the quotes that we did get, which was from Wallace. And then we'll go from there with that.
So you reviewed the quotes that we had, which
Correct.
weren't numerous, but and the
Correct.
ones from Wallace were good. So we probably
Yep.
need to go ahead and proceed to award that.
Correct.
I'm sure we have gentlemen, we don't have a copy of that. It was in our last minute meetings, but I think you saw it, and I think that they've reviewed it. Would we want to proceed with a motion for that?
Kenny Hill makes motion, we approve Wallace for the snow removal quote that was submitted with all the requirements it was asked for.
Second.
Motion been made and seconded to approve the snow removal quotes from Wallace. All in favor say aye. Aye.
Very good.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Motion passes 3-0. While they're still opening these bids up, let's go ahead and take care of the precinct business about establishing the precincts. For all of you who haven't really been following the process too much, we've been working since the state gave us the numbers, which was probably the 1st of October before we got started, I think, on working with the redistricting, which is done every 10 years. The committee basically consisted of myself and Stephanie Elliott from the clerk's office and Josh Messmer from our county administrator, and was assisted at times by Vicki Kivett, a former clerk, and also assisted greatly by the technology of Banning Engineering through our GIS, from a fellow that, I just call him our GIS wizard, and we were able to come up, and the state, well, I'm going to turn it over to Josh because he can give you where we are. I do have a map that you can look at later if you'd like to. It'll be up here. You can look at the precincts, and we had a meeting on Friday where it was open to the public, but precincts can be changed every year, but this is the kickoff on what we think would be desirable for the county. So, Josh, I'll let you finish up what we have to do officially. You want that? Okay.
Morning, everyone. As Don said, we'll leave this up here. People can come and take a look at it after the meeting. And so, like Don said, redistricting happens this year for the county. We would have loved to have had the data a lot sooner than we did, but we didn't actually get it until September 20th of this year. And everything has to be done by the end of the year. The first step for the county is to approve orders for the precincts, which go to the state. Then it comes back. There's a 10-day window of public comment. If there's no remonstrance, then it can be approved at that point. If there is, then the state will make the final decision on how we can move forward with precincts. By the end of the year, we will also need to do redistricting for the council districts and the commissioner districts, which the same committee has been working on. We had a public hearing related to that on December 2nd so that people could come and take a look at the maps and see the progress that had been made. And that will be before the commissioners before the year's over. So what we did, as Don alluded to, was we hired a GIS firm to come help us so that we could tie all of the census data to the actual census tracts within our county in order to try and draw maps that were accurate, reflective, non-political, but just made the best sense for the county. There are state guidelines for precincts. You can't have less than 600 active voters. You can't have more than 2,000 active voters. For us, that meant we ended up cutting out 8 precincts for Morgan County. In some places, it's just because they didn't meet the threshold of 600, combined from 2 precincts in a county, or in a township down into 1. And others, we just said where it made sense, and we tried to circle around 1,200 active voters per precinct. And so that's kind of how we approach this process. You can take a look at these maps today. If the commissioners approve these precinct orders, then it will go to the state to start the clock. Any comments or questions from the commissioners?
There being no questions, I think we should proceed to go ahead and pass this ordinance that establishes, is it an ordinance? Oh yeah, we established the precinct and we're sending this to the state. I will say that the state, the lady at the state, I don't know her whole last name, Stephanie, and she's doing a great job, but she also is kind of in love with Morgan County because of the work that we're doing. I don't think there's anybody quite, and I don't know that I can support this with a great deal of evidence, but we are looked upon very favorably for the work that we're doing. And I think we're looking on that because of the work that we've had through Mr. Maggard and the committee, and we've worked very well, and it's been it's a lot different than it was 10 years ago when I did it, so I'm glad to see it. So you have we need to go ahead and proceed with the order establishing the precincts, and it's in your agenda. Do you have any questions, gentlemen, about it? Well, let's proceed then. I'll entertain a motion to accept this order establishing the precincts for this county.
Brian Collier makes the motion that we accept order establishing precincts as presented in front of us.
Second.
Thank you. Motion's been made and seconded. All in favor of the motion, say aye. Aye. That motion passes 3-0, and they'll be sending those precinct orders. Thank you, and thank you, Stephanie, and thank you, Josh, and thank you, wherever you are, Tom Maggard. So, okay, next, let's go back. I think they've done stabbing everything over here, and we got. Are you ready?
Yeah. Are you reading them or am I reading? I hate reading these bids. Okay,
least on the envelopes, none of these bidders indicated that they are bidding for the fuel. So we have no bid, nope. We have no bids for the gasoline and diesel fuel. So I'll move on to the next class that we're requesting bids for, the bituminous patch. And the first bidder I have is Milestone Contractors. They bid for, they have no bid for District 1 or District 2, but they bid for District 3, 5,000 or less tons of the hot asphalt base at $51.15 per ton, binder at $57 per ton, and surface mix at $62.25. That bid is for the FOB on the county truck, loaded on the county trucks at the plant, South Harding plant, at the State Road 750 East Plainfield plant, and at the State Road 445 in Bloomfield. Next class that we find a bidder for is the Class 4 liquid asphalt materials. The bidder is Asphalt Materials Incorporated. The asphalt emulsions at plant pickup of RS2 of $588 per ton, AE 90S of $660 per ton, and the AEF at $520 per ton. The job site delivery, the asphalt emulsions of the AS2 is $621.23 per ton, AE90S at $693.23 per ton, and the AEF at $561.23 per ton. The CM grades, CM 150 and 200, $828.23 per ton. The CM 300, $848.23 per ton. The FOB on the vendor storage, to county to furnish 10,000, or vendor to furnish one 10,000 gallon portable storage tank. The price on the asphalt emulsions, RS2, $616.43 per ton. AE90S at $688.43 per ton, and AEF at $556.43 per ton. Marathon, okay. Next bidder that we have is Marathon Petroleum. The bid for at the vendor's plant, at the Indy terminal of the RS2 is $500 per ton, and at the North Bend, Cincinnati, Ohio terminal, AE90S at $545 per ton. The FOB vendor storage tank, RS2, $506 per ton, and AE90S at the $553.84 per ton. Job site delivery, the RS2 is $506 per ton, and the AE90S at $553.84 per ton. Now we're moving on to crushed stone. What ones are we looking at for here? Okay, there are many sizes here quoted for the crushed stone. I'm going to read the bids for the number 11s and number 53s and the riprap. This bidder is Rogers Group. The size 11 is $16.75 per ton. Number 53s at $13.45 per ton, and riprap at $16.95 per ton. And those prices are quoted at the Morgan County Sand and Gravel site. The prices for at the Bloomington crushed stone location, the number 11s at $13.25 per ton, and the riprap at $13.35 per ton, and number 53s at $9.95 per ton. Next bidder is Us Aggregates. Once I get to the price sheet. Okay. These prices for Us Aggregate are at their 243 quarry at Cloverdale, and the number 11 stone is $12.85. Number 53s at $7.15, and the riprap at $10.15 all per ton. Their Deer Creek location, number 11 stone, that's also in Cloverdale. Number 11 stone at $12.85 per ton, and number 53s at $7.15 per ton. No quote for riprap at that location. Next bidder is Jones Crushed Stone. These bids are at their Gosport Quarry. Number 53s are $7 per ton. 11s, $12.45 per ton. Riprap, $13.95 per ton. Grant, now I'm moving on to the pipe culverts. Is there a certain size that you would want it to look at? What was that again?
Really, it's gonna be, you know, your main ones are gonna be like your 12 through 60, but if you wanted to reduce that, you know what I mean?
Yeah. What? 12s and,
12, 18,
okay.
go up to like 32.
Okay. This one has 12, 18, and 30 in their quote. The bidder is Utility Pipe Sales. This is for culverts, a 12-inch by 20 feet. The price is $252.60. The 18 by 20, $492.60, and the 30 by 20 at $1,288. Let's hope the next bidder has those same sizes. This one, I gotta read a book.
Note on that utility, that is their new plastic pipe pricing.
Okay.
And your E3 is gonna show it to be corrugated metal.
So those prices were for plastic pipe, and the next bidder is the E3. These are corrugated steel pipe. What gauge would you want to look at? Okay, they're gauged 14. Maybe I should have read that other bit differently. The, their 12-inch, 14 gauge is $28.79 per foot. Their, their, what did I do on the other, 18-inch? And their 18-inch pipe is $43.18. 30-inch pipe is $71.96. That bidder is E3 Bridge. They do have some polymer quotes in there too. Those were all the bids that we have.
Thank you, Dan, and thank you for your patience, folks. These are so exciting. Yes, sir, Bill.
On the pictures, on the 9s and 11s, it's gonna be just chip and seal, right? 11s, are they gonna be washed or just limestone?
No, they're what, that's old wash stone. It doesn't have any dust in it.
All right, because I know previous times, a lot of dust and that stuff in the oil, absorb the dust, and
Thank you. We'll put these, Grant will just put these in your pocket until you review them and bring back your recommendations.
Yeah, I guess, yeah, the only thing I want to kind of touch base on there is when we did read the pipe prices from utility, I mean, that was the for instance, the 12-inch at $252, that was for a 20-foot stick. So if you take it like E3 did and take it down to the per foot, E3, we were paying 28 something per foot. And if you go up to utility for the plastic on a 12-inch at the 252, you're paying 1260. So just letting you know that's that right there in the evidence that shows you why we should go to plastic.
Oh, appreciate that.
And I mean, I could have given you the
The
per foot.
yeah,
They've got it.
we can do the math. I mean, either way we've read it, I mean, it's there, but.
All right, thank you.
Note that.
Thank you very much. Yes, Bill?
Why are we talking 20-foot pipe? We can't put 20-foot pipe anyplace in the county because driveways are 24-foot. There's no road in the county 20-foot, so you gotta be talking 30-foot pipe on your bids anyway. Any size you put.
All pipes are Bell spigot, so, yeah, if you've got a 30-foot crossing, you're probably gonna be at least putting 40 foot of pipe in, so. It's everything's,
20s together, you can buy one piece of pipe.
excuse me?
You're gonna put two 20s together with band, you're gonna buy 40-foot of pipe. Ideal construction, ideal pipe, you can get 40-foot, you can get 30-foot, but in the county, we don't have any place where you use 20-foot of pipe, so I don't know why you don't give 24-foot bid and a 30-foot bid rather than a 20-foot. 20-foot, you're just talking plastic. And plastic does not work.
Yeah.
It's not made to be above ground.
They bid all those,
I guess I'm.
they
a little-
build all those sizes.
Yeah, I guess I'm a little.
Unless you wanted to stay here until 6 o'clock tonight and me read all those.
And we use no place in the county, we use 20-foot of pipe, so I'm with 24s and 30s for the road.
It's a per foot price. That price is a per foot price.
All right.
Yeah, it's not an individual pipe price.
Yeah, Bill, if you might want to, well, I think you got your questions answered, so, thank you, sir. So, Grant, you'll be reviewing those and bringing them back and with your recommendations from the bid. And if anybody has a public question about it, probably want to talk to Grant as he proceeds. Okay, thank you, Dan and Deb, and getting all that done, and we'll look for Grant and Tony to bring us back some recommendations. Next item on the agenda is a tax certification sale resolution. This concerns concerns several things. I don't, Jim, you want to kick it off?
Well, I reviewed it, but I believe this is the form that was used in the past from SRI, and it just is the properties retained by the commissioners that didn't sell at this fall's tax sale.
Okay, and Dan, you made a recommendation, or I think you discussed on what we need to do with property that's over delinquent. So that's kind of, this is how we're dealing with it, is that correct?
It's been a couple years since we've done this. Each year we have a tax sale where we offer for sale at the tax sale auction the properties that have unpaid taxes and of 18 months or more. And and each year there are some properties that are not bid on, and those go unclaimed at the tax sale. Then following that, the county can have what's called the commissioner's certificate sale, and that's selling those properties or offering for sale the properties that did not sell at the tax sale. And we have 39 properties. We haven't done this for a couple years because of the fact that we've been fairly successful at the tax sale, and we didn't have many properties going unsold, but we've accumulated few properties over the last couple of years to where now we have 39 properties, and we feel like, me and the treasurer, that it's time to do the certificate sale. The certificate sale differs from the tax sale in that at the tax sale, the minimum bid for the properties are the unpaid taxes and the cost of the tax sale cost. And so in some instances, that can be quite a bit of money. And that can be a reason why the properties are not sold at the tax sale. That the certificate sale, the county can set the minimum bid. There is no requirement that it equal the delinquent taxes. And in the past, that we've set that at minimum bid at $50. The treasurer and I are proposing that we do the same this time. We set the minimum bid at $50. The purpose of this is that our desire is to get these properties in the hands or ownership of people who will then pick up and pay the taxes, keep them current. Also, some of these properties are pretty not in very good condition, and so the new owner would improve upon the properties. But we need to get the price down to a point to where it makes good financial sense for the buyer to purchase these. And so by offering it at $50 or starting at $50, then we accomplish that. Some of the properties probably will go still unsold, not because of the amount of taxes are owed on it or the minimum bid, but some of these properties have problems with the legal description and such, and until the landowner takes an interest in correcting that, there's not a lot we can do about that. But we can take care of the ones that have accumulated a large dollar amount of unpaid taxes. So we have 39 properties that we want to offer at the sale. Today, the commissioners, if you agree with us in that we need to do this, need to pass a resolution authorizing the sale, and also need to sign the agreement with SRI. SRI is our vendor that we have done business with for many years, administering our tax sale. They have almost every county in the state. It's their specialty. That's their niche. That they've and they do a very, very good job. And so we need to amend the agreement we already have with SRI. This agreement, the county would agree to pay them 15% of what the bidder offers at the sale on the property, and then we have a sale. We've got it scheduled for. Also, you're going to adopt the schedule. We are proposing and have come up with an agreement with SRI of a date in February. Once I get that piece of paper, it's February the 9th, Wednesday, February 9th, is the day that we propose to have the tax sale. So it's time to do this. It's not something that we need to do every year, but every couple years we need to do this just to get things cleaned up.
Kind of clean up a closet.
Yeah.
All right.
I mean, our purpose is, obviously the people that own these properties don't have any interest in the properties any longer. And so we want to get these properties in the hands of, if you will, of people that will have an interest in keeping the taxes current and improving the condition of the property.
Do you gentlemen have any questions for Dan or Jim? I have one simple one, I guess. I see the resolution. It looks to me like we have two things to look at. First of all, the resolution and then the calendar from SRI.
Right, you would be accepting the calendar, amending the agreement with SRI, and then adopting the resolution.
All right. I don't think it makes any difference what order.
Well,
That's what-
logical order would be to adopt the resolution,
That's what I was
and
thinking.
then the second would be to amend the agreement with SRI, and then lastly, accepting the proposed calendar.
Well, we'll just take them in order, I think would be the best thing. First, the resolution, the agreement, and then the calendar.
Could do all of them.
We can do all at once? All right, I prefer that myself instead of just sitting here. All right, let's start with resolution. Well, we have three pieces of this program in one spot. I have one other really, I know it's kind of silly, but just mostly for the public. How does SRI market this? Do they put it on our website, or do they have their own website, or how do they? How do these people find out about?
Well, we have to publish this in the local newspaper.
Right.
We could have it, we could have a web sale, have it on the website. That's gonna cost you more. I don't think we need to do that.
I guess the people that would be interested in it as purchasers find out by going to where? Just the newspaper, is that it?
Yeah.
They have what?
The properties are listed out there on their website.
On the treasurer's
SRI's.
office?
SRI.
SRI's website.
Yeah.
I just want to make
Yeah,
sure
that's how
everybody
they would
gets the,
find out, yeah.
I knew you would be getting it out because you've done it before. I just didn't know how you did it. And I'm not interested in buying any. I just was, yeah, well, I own a piece of foxcliff for $50. That'd be okay, all right? Go out and hunt mushrooms or something.
These are definitely buyer beware purchases.
Okay, you guys have heard the program. You've seen we've done it before. And we have a resolution and a calendar and an agreement, all kind of one fell swoop. I'll entertain a motion.
Kenny Howe makes a motion, we pass a resolution establishing the intent to conduct a commissioner's sale to sell tax sales certifications for properties that are severely delinquent in the payment of property taxes, as well as the commissioner's certifying sales service addendum to the SRA tax service agreement, as well as adopting the Morgan County certificate sales calendar as well.
Brian Carter seconds.
Thank you, gentlemen. We've had a motion and I'm not going to repeat the whole shebang, but we have a motion and a second to proceed with the tax sale as outlined in our amendment in the motion. All in favor of that? Yeah, aye?
Aye.
Aye. The motion passes 3-0. Thank you. And thank you, and thank the treasurer for kind of getting this process going. When's that going to be?
February 9th,
9th, okay. That gives
10 a.m.
Kenny a chance to save up, right?
Wrong.
Okay. All right, next item on our agenda is a take-home vehicle application. This is from really the highway with Eddie Fisher, one of our, Grant, would you want to address anything there, please?
Yes, thank you again. I've asked that we be able to let Eddie take home a take-home vehicle. He is one of 3 bridge crew superintendents that work daily, that are more or less on call with me 24/7. The other 2 bridge crew foremans have take-home trucks, and Eddie's the only one that does not at this point.
All right. Do you gentlemen have any questions about the application for a take-home vehicle from the highway? I'll entertain a motion.
Kenny Howe makes a motion, we approve the application for the take-home vehicle for the highway department.
Second.
We have a motion and a second for the approval of the application for the take-home vehicle for Eddie Fisher from the Highway Department. All in favor of the motion, say aye. Aye. Motion passes 3-0. Okay. I've got a thing here that says, in our agenda, it says bulk user agreement, but I don't think that that's, see anything on that.
I'm going to speak on that just briefly, if I may. It pertains to a short section of code, 362710.1, and the bulk user agreement is just that bulk document purchasers from the recorder's office. And Zillow alleges that our current contract violates statute in a couple of ways and has proposed a revision to that contract. I have a bullet point and an outline that I'll send to you all. This was kind of just to bring it again to your radar, and also want to talk to the recorder again before we take any action. But there's 3 points that they allege are problematic in the contract. One, that they would be required to report to the Morgan County recorder if they violated a contract in another county, which is not included in statute. And then also, they basically want to clarify that they are able to share those documents with their business subsidiaries. And finally, that they basically extract data from those. So there's a statute references redistributing the document as received, and they want to clarify in the contract they're not doing that, but rather they extract data out of that. There's a relevant opinion from the Public Access Counselor on a couple of those items, and I, for the most part, will probably anticipate coming back to you with some recommended changes. Blackford County is one, I think, that will probably just take exactly what they did, I think. And it more closely mirrors statute in those ways. And I know that several other counties have changed at this request. So
They are not selling our data. They're extracting it for.
well, I mean, I suppose that's the debate.
So you'll be receiving, we'll be receiving some more correspondence on this matter?
Statute and kind of just an outline, and it along with the current contract and the proposed contract.
The next meeting's agenda will be
Correct.
okay. Then I probably need a motion to table this until the next meeting, and we'll proceed from there. Does that make?
Yeah.
I'll entertain a motion to table this until we have.
So moved.
Motion's been made to table this concern about the agreement. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
That item is tabled till our next meeting. Jim, just keep on rolling. You're on a roll here. We have the executive session of October 19th, some information, how to proceed.
Well, you all should have had the opportunity to receive and review a proposal that was discussed at that executive session. And if there are no further questions and you're in agreement, I think just a motion on that.
All right. We've all reviewed it. Do you have any questions that you want to bring? I'll entertain a motion on that. I don't think it's in your packet. It is?
I believe it is.
I didn't see it.
I missed it.
Yes.
And I read that, but I was right.
I'll go ahead and
How do you word a motion?
I think just that
Deb, I don't see that.
approve the agreement.
But I wasn't there.
Well, that you have reviewed it. So
Yeah, I see that, but it's not in my packet. Pardon? I know.
Kenny Howe goes ahead and makes a motion, we approve this agreement of release.
Been a motion to approve the agreement and release. I'll second that motion. Do we have any questions on that? All in favor of approving the agreement and release as outlined by Jim, say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes 3-0. And thank you, Jim, and we'll go ahead and proceed with it. Appreciate that. Now, we have some old business to attend to. Bridge 41 concerned, oh. Which one? This one? I don't know where that is in my packet, but.
Wasn't in your packet.
There, okay. There we go. Okay, Bridge 41, old business. We have some property to purchase out there. And Jim, you want to go ahead and outline how that's proceeding?
I'm sorry, the resolution on Bridge 41. I've drafted the resolution certainly with Josh and Tony's assistance, and it's 4 parcels that need to be acquired to complete the work to that Bridge 41. And the appraisals and statements of just compensation have been completed. And so it's just requesting approval to proceed with that.
Okay. Group effort here on purchasing those things. Do you have any questions, gentlemen, about the property? Okay, I'll entertain a motion to approve the resolution authorizing the purchase of real estate that concerns Bridge 41.
Kenny Howe makes a motion, we approve the resolution authorizing the purchase of certain real estate for Bridge 41, not to exceed $25,000.
Thank you. Do we have a second?
Brian Collier seconds.
Thank you. We have a motion and a second for the approval of the resolution authorizing the purchase of certain real estate property around Bridge 41. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. And motion passes 3-0. Kenny, did you have any information on the monument cleaning?
I did talk to Janice today. She's a little under the weather from surgery, and she's not heard back from Michael yet. As soon as she does, and it's probably going to be after the first of the year, she will get us back with a quote on that from him.
Okay. We'll just leave that tabled until we hear from Janice. There was some other item in my agenda that also concerning the vacant of an alley, but I don't see it on the agenda. Okay. But it involves actually this alley, I assume right over here, and it's for the city. Gary, I assume you're all familiar with what's cooking here. Do you have any questions about it? Not on the agenda? We're not ready yet? Okay, just forget I said anything. Erase the agenda. Thank you. I just wasn't sure how we were going to proceed with that. We'll just kind of pass that along down the pike a little bit. Thank you. I do not see anything else on our agenda. Yeah, I do see that. I just, other than for the good of the order and the minutes. All right, if you've reviewed the minutes, do you have any questions or any corrections? Take a motion on the minutes.
So moved.
Motion been made and approved the the minutes of our last meeting. All in favor say aye. Aye. Motion passes 3-0. Now, we have two things on one thing really on the good of the order, but I'll first start with the audience. Do you have any good of the order that you'd like to mention for our county? Well, I have one. Last Tuesday, where's your plaque, Deb? On your desk, we have an award was given to our trusty girl Friday, we couldn't do without her. And she received the 2021 Indiana Association of County Commissioners Administrative Assistant of the Year for the whole state. That's 92 counties. We're very, very pleased to have, well, this means a lot to everybody. Deb's been with us about 20 years, and I read several of the letters that were sent in recommendation, and I don't want to have a teary session, but it shows our appreciation, Deb. We're very, very pleased, and congratulations to you from the board, and put it in the minutes for sure. Okay. Do we have any other, for the good of the county, any other concerns or happy news? When's the Christmas thing coming over at the park?
This Saturday, December 11th, from 11 o'clock to 2, you will have Santa in the park, and he'll be arriving, Mr. and Mrs. Claus, by fire engine instead of reindeers and the sled, but we are partnering with so there will be boxes out at the different locations in the structure. You're going to have quite a bit of activity with Santa's helpers in the Blacksmith Shop Trade Center. You'll actually have the church opened up, and you'll have all kind of goodies back here in the fellowship hall in the back. So glad to see all of you. Santa will be in the bank.
That's this Saturday at?
Saturday,
what
11 to 2.
11 to 2. So if you want to come out and enjoy Santa with your kids and or just yourself, I don't care. We'll be there. And as Kenny said, we're going to have a party out there. So thank you. Any other? I'll entertain a motion for adjournment.
Brian Collier makes that motion.
Motion made and second. All in favor say aye. Aye. It's 3-0, and we'll get some signing done. We don't have a lot of signs, but we have some important things to sign. Where's our little